Hi, I'm Lacey Gardner, the super insurance agent. I am here today with Liv Kaufman of Armadillo, and we just wanted to pop on here and have a quick conversation about the Armadillo home warranty product.
Hey everybody, I'm Liv. I am here today accompanied by 3 dogs. So if you see them in the background, that is why. I am representing Armadillo. We are the new generation of home warranty. Honestly, Lacey and I were just talking before this call. We hate the word home warranty because what we're doing here is just so different. It's like a digital property management service. But yeah, super excited to be here with Lacey. I've been in the insurance space for quite a while on the agency side, the homeowners insurance carrier side, but so excited to be representing the Armadillo product today alongside of Lacey.
Home warranties in history don't have the best of reputation. So it's a challenge sometimes when you try to have the conversation with someone about a new product and you're excited and somebody wants to kind of, they come with their jaded spirit. Tell me why a home warranty complements homeowners insurance, and you're going to be the best subject expert with the experience that you have on both sides. So it makes sense to me, but it's helpful to hear it from someone like you.
I think that there's an extra layer of that I'll talk about too, is like, why is it important for an insurance agent who's an expert in homeowners insurance to complement the homeowners insurance policy with the home warranty? Because Lacey, you work in risk management all day long. You're
all day
getting to know the clients. You're figuring out exactly what's inside of their home. You already know how to protect them on the homeowners insurance side. Why not pair that with a home warranty? The reason
whenever I get to know them, I also learn about different aspects about their budgeting and things that they're planning for, because that's part of my process of getting to know my clients, is understanding what their goals are so I can help protect them in the future, to protect their assets so they don't lose them.
Yep. And that's why we exist. Home warranty, to Lacey's point, is a jaded, broken, honestly terrible industry. I had people look at me when I told them I was going to join a home warranty company, and they were like, "What are you doing? Like, you're too young to throw away your career, girl." I laughed because I knew what we were doing is really special. And the reason we even exist and the way that we operate is so that we can distribute a product through the channel of risk management, through the independent agency channel. Home warranty has never done that before. Home warranty is sold through an annoying email or phone call that probably all of you have seen at some point, or at point of sale in a real estate transaction, which is the perfect time to buy it. But after year one of that policy, like protecting your home, there's not really anyone to say, let's talk about updates. Let's renew that policy and make sure that it's up to date for your home needs this year. That's what Lacey can do. That's what the insurance agency channel can do. And that's why I'm here. I've worked on the agency side. I've worked in homeowners insurance, and they complement each other perfect, but not if they're not in the right hands. And that's why we at Armadillo distribute through the insurance channel.
Yeah, when I think about the Florida market, which is very volatile right now in homeowners and home insurance, we're seeing rates are up. My data says they're up about 55% year over year in renewals. This is going to help individual homeowners better budget those unforeseen things that happen. And because things are volatile financially, it also is going to help focus on controlling those expenses, or at least have a soft pillow to sleep on at night, to put your head down, knowing that if something does happen, given the circumstances of our economy, that it's not going to be that huge out-of-pocket expense that most of us as homeowners are fearful of, because it's not only the expense, it's the supply issues, and it's everything that's all encompassing of what's going on currently in our economy. So it helps reduce those annual costs for homeowners. It gives them that projection of, which I think that's one of the things that I think excites me the most about your product, is the inventory part. And I'll let you talk about that in a minute, but it also helps mitigate those larger claim issues. So there's a challenge when you're a homeowner and you're paying these large premiums for homeowners insurance, and something happens and you call in a claim, and you realize not covered. You know,
Yeah.
it's not, we don't cover the breakdown of an AC. We don't cover the breakdown of the garage door opener and the things that are, unfortunately, I don't know if every homeowner really goes into it with eyes wide open of the things that can go wrong with the system components of a home.
A lot of that stuff is, so to your point, it's so volatile. It breaks down. Our data shows us that homeowners would have a home warranty claim if they had one 1.67 times every single year. So that's some sort of breakdown. That's about 1% of your home's value in maintenance costs every single year. In markets like Florida, I would probably push that number up to 2, 3, maybe even 4%, because
right. I mean, does your AC work as hard as our AC?
No, it just it sure doesn't. I'm in
but whenever
Cincinnati.
it goes out, you want it fixed, you want it repaired, and you want it repaired quickly because it is hot and it is not fun.
Yep.
So
and if you keep your home maintenance, to Lacey's point earlier, you're going to mitigate some of those large claims that could end up on your homeowner's insurance policy that are going to make those rates that are already 55% up even higher, or they may even drop you. I've worked in the homeowners insurance space, and there are so many carriers that have just taken their business out of Florida because
there's companies.
The market is hard.
I think we're up to 5 or 6 companies now that have left the state. And today there are companies that are appealing to legislation for rate increases.
Yep.
So we know it's coming. It's down the line.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the onboarding process and the inventory process whenever I buy a policy from you, or a program. I buy a program from you, and I have maybe the 7,500 cap coverage.
Sure. All right, I'll walk you through it start to finish. I should have grabbed one of my QR code magnets. They're downstairs, but it's fine. We have a completely digital platform for all of our clients. We're really gearing this product towards the new generation of homeowners. About 32% of first-time home buyers last year were in the age range of 22 to 30. So those are folks who are on these guys all day long. So if it's not digital, they're not going to use it. They're not going to buy it. I know I wouldn't buy something that I couldn't manage directly on my phone. So when you onboard onto Armadillo, we're going to get you set up. You can do this digitally. You can do it on your computer, but we inventory everything that's in your home for you. This is optional, but if I bought a new home, I moved into a condo like I'm living in right now, I would want to know about my appliances, and I might not know any of that. So I can pick up my phone, take this scanner that I'll have inside of the Armadillo virtual app, and scan my appliances. This is going to give us real-time health data on what's inside of my home. So if my refrigerator has a recall on it, I'm going to know. If my refrigerator is really old and it is probably going to need to be replaced in 2 years, that's also data I'm going to have. So it gives you full line of sight into what's in your home, what things you might expect in the next couple of years from a breakdown standpoint, and that allows you to get ahead of things.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. One of the things that I find fascinating about that is, like, 4-point inspections is a really big thing right now, but a 4-point inspection, which I really appreciate a great inspector, but they don't go into the details of your dishwasher and your refrigerator. And, they do the hot water heater, they do those major components, but whenever it comes down to certain aspects of your everyday living, go a day without a refrigerator. Let's talk. Go a day without your oven. I had the element went out in my oven, and I was cooking in my air fryer for a week, waiting on parts to come in. It's not fun, but to have that inventory aspect of knowing, hey, it's coming down the line, or this is what's going on. If my oven was in the inventory, it would have told me, correct, that around the age that the element would have go out, or certain systems in the oven, components of the oven.
So it'll give you general life cycle prediction, and then any recalls. We get that data from a really cool partner who has all of this crazy data on appliances that have gone bad and caused really large homeowners insurance claims. So the stuff that will could even potentially like kill your entire home. So it's important data to see, it's important data to manage. And for first-time home buyers, I know like for folks in my age range, not to like pick on myself, but I would have no idea what kind of costs that might be associated with even just a year of home ownership. So if there are any tools that we can give you to make sure that you're getting ahead, you're budgeting, you're mitigating costs where you can, that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, first time home buyers, can't get that out. First time home buyers really don't know. Like when you purchase a home, you don't get a stack of documents saying, I bought you this refrigerator in this year from this manufacturer or this store, and this is how much I paid for it. So you don't know what you're getting whenever you're buying a house. It may look great. It could have been repaired 4 times before you got it.
Yep. Well, we talked about digital focus. We talked about claims. Lacey, do you want to tell the folks why Armadillo is different about down to the contract language? Do you remember how many exclusions we removed from our base contract, or do you want me to talk about it?
I had a great last Friday, because my husband came home, who is in property management, and we were discussing the program, and he was comparing it to other things that are out there. And the exclusions came up, the wording in the document came up. So we got to sit outside by the pool, and we spent, 30 minutes reviewing in detail of every word, all of the language that was involved, including the limited amount of exclusions, and he was coached and was told, well, it's this verbiage that you look for, and it was not to be found. So it was very revealing for me, and for him. But it was also really fun to look at it in depth, in that to be able to combat what he was being told versus the reality of what's in your contract. And the reality of it is the exclusions are compared to big. So that's, I guess, one of the main differences that I think Armadillo is going to have a real big advantage in the market for homeowners is the exclusion list is small, and you're going to be able to buy this with great confidence, knowing that it's
going to work.
It's going to work. It's going to work. If it breaks, it's going to work because of Armadillo.
Yeah.
And I think that the data that you gave me is your company removed 80% of the exclusions that are found in other warranty contracts.
Yep.
So tell me what that looks like in your contract.
Gosh, it was so fun. When I first joined, I was like, I'm going to read through some competitor contracts. They're long. That's like 15 to 30. Oops, sorry, my dog's interrupted. That's like 15 to 30 pages of exclusion language. Like for every paragraph of this is covered, you're also going to have another paragraph of this is not covered for just this one item, not the whole policy.
The other thing that I appreciated about Armadillo was I specifically requested the contract, and there was such great transparency. You're like, okay, here it is. There was no resistance or anything, because you knew you've done your homework.
Yep. So my CEO was an insurance actuary by trade. So we are looking at building this product. We were like, okay, let's just take the best from everything that's out there. We read through them all. The best from everything that's out there is still not that good. So we decided to totally rewrite it. So the entire policy is actually only 2 pages, only 1 paragraph of exclusion language. And it's, to your point, extremely transparent. Clients know what to expect. We removed 80% of what's typically excluded. We have no exclusions for the big items. So your HVAC, your plumbing, the really, really important ones.
Short of, if it's not covered on your insurance, it's not purpose damage. You didn't just go put a big old hole in your refrigerator because you threw a brick at it because you were mad at your wife.
Aggressive.
Aggressive. It's covered. I mean, within reason.
The only other ones I can think of are no insect or like animal damage, no pre-existing conditions, and it doesn't cover maintenance. So if you need your air filter, it's not going to cover that. But to your point, it's literally all that it is. So I think, and this, knock on wood, stays around that. We're at about a 92% claim satisfaction rate, whereas the industry sits at about 50%. So the home warranty, as it's been in the past, it's kind of a 50-50 chance you get your claim covered. But ours, we really want to give our clients the most transparent language and the most transparent policy so that when something happens, if it's not covered, they get clear education on why. But when it is covered, which is most of the time, they get it resolved.
I have also heard where people that do have home warranties avoid putting in a claim because they're afraid of something being paid and in the future needing it and it being declined because of, for lack of better words, would that be, I mean, it's not risk mitigation, but it is for the insurance side, the warranty side.
Yeah.
So your policies are built with a cap, like I've referenced earlier, the 75,
Yep.
there's a $7,500 cap. And that's what I was explaining to my husband was, if you have an AC system that goes down and your pool pump goes down in the same year, you have that policy limit.
Yep.
And then there's, all of those things in between. And honestly, I went through that and was looking at all of the components that are covered. Even that limit is very generous considering.
And we have different limits for different homeowner types. If you have really expensive appliances, we have a different plan tier that goes all the way up to 25,000 for that total limit. So you as the agent, Lacey is going to be the expert and really walk you through what plan tier makes sense for you, which total limit and which of those sub limits make sense for the things inside of your home.
Right. You have a 5,000 square foot home with two ACs, one on the second floor, one on the first floor. You're going to want that higher policy to be able to cover both of them in the case of something happening.
Absolutely.
Tell me about the claims process reimbursement, because that I think is extremely unique, and also selecting the repair providers.
Yes. So our claims process, as mentioned earlier, is totally digital. You scan a QR code, takes you to your administrative portal. You type in a couple of sentences about what's wrong, click a few buttons, submit. But you have options when it comes to claim time. So we have in-network and out-of-network service providers, kind of like health insurance. We joke on our site that this is like health insurance for your home. So if you want to use one of our service pros, you just select a few times that you're available in the coming 24 to 48 hours for them to come out and select service. You don't pay your deductible until service is actually complete, which is so nice. But
that's unique to you, because I know with the other companies, you have to pay the deductible up front.
So silly. But we also allow you to use your own service provider. I know so many people who they want to support local community. They want to support their friends and their family who work in trade industries. So we want to support that too. So if you want to use your own service provider, you just click use your own service provider. It'll give you a brief paragraph of instructions on what to do. And that's done on a reimbursement basis. So you do have to pay the service pro when they complete their service, but we can reimburse you completely digitally. No snail mail, 6 weeks to get a check. If you want to be paid via Venmo, who doesn't love Venmo? I do. I use it all the time. We can reimburse you via Venmo or PayPal. If you want to check, it's fine. Well, I don't know why you would. So we really give the full autonomy to you as the client to pick your service pro and give you the full control over the claims experience. And we are just the tools and the resources to make sure it's paid for.
And they, at the time that they buy the program, they also get to select their deductible amount too, correct?
Correct. We have deductible ranges all the way from 75 to 150 on our first two plans. And then on our more premium plan, it's $200 or $500.
Coverage and age restrictions on.
None of that. So
if I purchase, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to circle us back a little bit to homeowners insurance for a second, because some of these could fall under what is called equipment breakdown on the homeowners insurance side, but there's age restrictions for those things. They don't cover wear and tear. Our policy,
the form that they're written on.
Yeah, it covers sudden and accidental mechanical and electrical, which is honestly so vague that I wouldn't even put a claim there if I needed to. But for us,
especially in Florida,
you live in an old home. This home that I'm sitting in was built in 1890. There's probably some really old stuff in here. I actually don't know, which shame on me. I just moved in. But we do have an armadillo policy on it. So it's all good. No age restrictions. So if that HVAC is 30 years old, we're going to cover it just like if it was established in 2021. So no age restrictions. We cover full wear and tear. So if you live in an old home with old appliances, your coverage is going to work exactly the same.
What about wait period? So I know that there's a wait period difference between a new buyer, new homeowner, and someone that is purchasing the program with an existing home like myself.
Yep. So if you're a new home buyer, it starts on your closing date. So we can put this in your closing contract. It can be billed all into your closing costs just to make it really easy for you. And we have it start on the day you move in or closing date. But for people who are already existing homeowners, just to avoid adverse selection, make sure that we're being honest about claims. We do have a small waiting period of 30 days.
Okay. That's reasonable, I think. I mean,
yeah.
And the one question that I had last time we spoke was the transferability of the warranty. Yep. So if I purchase the warranty and on my home and I sell my home, that's an additional benefit to the buyer and to the seller, correct? Because I can transfer what I purchased and they accept the remaining term and then they can choose to renew it if they want to.
Spot on.
Awesome. I'm getting it. Tell me a little bit about the seller's coverage that you have available.
Great point. So we talked very briefly about new home buyers. That's a perfect time to buy one of these policies. You have no idea what you're walking into when you buy a home. Even if you've owned homes in the past, you still don't know what's inside this house. You have your inspection report, but things get breakdown.
You just triggered something with me. I don't know how many people are familiar with what's going on in Lakeland, but we literally have, extremely limited inventory to buy. So you sell your home, you have to buy something, the choices are very, very limited, but the transactions are happening so quickly that sometimes the inspection process doesn't always happen, or it's so quick that they don't really know what, because they're so quick to just buy something.
Yeah. That's a great point. And we've seen that in other markets outside of Florida, but that seller's coverage also protects that little bit of period too, because if inspections are not being done thoroughly, something could very easily be derailed in between the time that you put in the offer and when you move into your home. Oh, yeah. That is so frustrating because you've already gone through a really scrutinous process to even get this house. Mm-hmm. So it's uncomfortable for the seller and for the buyer if something breaks down. We have $1,500 limits for the main components of the home. So your HVAC, plumbing, electric, the big items that the seller can actually use in that in-between period before closing. So if my AC goes out 2 days before closing, I, as a buyer, sure don't want to pay for that. I don't want to put that on my home warranty. I can't, because it's before the policy actually starts. So we give complimentary coverage. They don't have to pay anything to every single seller to make sure that you as a home buyer are going to have the perfect transition into moving into your home.
What's not to love about that?
I know. I love it.
There was something you had it in notes between the two of us. The purchase and claims process is completely digital, like Amazon Prime, but home maintenance. I think that's a beautiful sentiment or statement for what this really does represent. So I'm excited to be partnered with Armadillo and offering it to my clients and my community. I think that you are in a really sweet spot that many homeowners needed. I'm so excited to see you guys take charge and change what the industry for in-home warranty looks like, and also give consumers another choice that is likely more sound consumer choice. You're currently can somebody go direct to you, or do you want them to go through an agent?
We want them to go through an agent. If you go online and you buy a policy with us, that's fine. Like, sure, like, but we don't really market that way. Like, we don't drive any like business to like our direct SEO. It's all partnerships right now. So whether that's like the real estate in some other states that we work in, or if that's independent agents we have across the US. Speaking from me personally, I would never buy a policy like this without consultation. I want to know what it does. I want to know how it works. You can get that a little bit on the website. We have nice little info boxes that'll give you a general sense, but there's nothing like an independent agent walking through your home with you and really marrying up that homeowner's insurance and the home warranty together to make sure that there's no coverage gaps. So I might be biased because I love independent agents, but don't go buy it on the website. Call Lacey.
Yeah. That's my soapbox that I preach on. Don't go direct. You want an agent for everything, because that's just how, we can't expect individuals in that, especially going through those transactions and the major life changes that it occurs, to be knowledgeable on all aspects. So whenever you're able to work with a direct agent or an independent agent that provides you with that consultation, it's an added source of security and just peace of mind, knowing that you're working with someone that you trust, and they're going to point you in the right direction. That's why I've done extreme due diligence in vetting Armadillo, because it's my name, it's my reputation, and you're in my community. So whenever, I'm shopping in Publix, and I come across somebody that I've sold an Armadillo policy to, I want them to be happy with it. I don't want them to be upset with me and avoid me. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking time and letting us ask you some questions and get this information out so we can help homeowners be better prepared for the unexpected in their new home ownership.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm super excited. Lacey is the best, you guys. You're in good hands. I cannot speak higher of our partnership and relationship with Lacey and the work that she does inside of the Florida communities. So you're in good hands, and it was so nice to virtually meet you guys.
Thank you, Liv.